make your port of entry, but they must get a big airport. Because look, our island is a 5-star destination. And you can't have a billionaire come in and go to the airport and wait for like a 7-seater plane. And sometimes the plane come, or another time it come. Or when you have the plane, you don't have any pilot. Those are the things that exist. And Gaston Brown said, no way, boss. We building you a big airport. So as we speak right now, the airport is under construction and will be finished by August. But it will be quite unfair for we do all this work and then you all turn it over to opposition. It don't make any sense. That will be unfair to the highest. And when we clear the place for the airport, you know what BPM say? I did them look then land turtle. Even if that is so. So you're going to put a couple land turtle in front of the future of the people of your island? You know the amount of employment opportunities will be created with an airport? All sorts of segments, man. Within a short time, nobody in Barbuda will be out of work. I tell you all, y'all going to have to come over now. Come over. But there's mostly the women. Man, not get frightened. Barbuda man don't love Antigua man already, so I now for frightened. So just make the girls them come over so we have a proper mix. All I'm seeking to do is to live up to the name of the country, Antigua and Barbuda. When you flash the passport, what you see on it? Antigua and Barbuda. So why fight against that? Together we shall aspire. Together we will achieve. Long live the nation of Antigua and Barbuda under labor. May Jah guide and keep you all together. And make sure on the 21st is labor, 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 labor all the way. Thank you very much.
Comrade GS, I have a question for you. Where the Labour Party dance school situated? Because me need some lesson. Even Comrade Benji saw the other night doing something. Yes. And to be honest, it's one of the areas I am lacking. So I need some lessons. Will the driver of A39878, 39878, and A45286, 45286, you're blocking someone. You ready? I drove through a constituency this afternoon, and I saw some people, now I really think they should be up and about, sitting down under some tent, look like it's a wake. You know, I really feel sorry for them now. And then I saw the head in a corner, like he calling for either the undertaker or the ambulance. Something wrong with them. Them not ready. St. Paul's, let me hear you. Yes, yes. Let's welcome my colleague, my brother, my friend, Comrade E.P. Chet Green. Propaganda, not afraid of what man can do to me. Man, you see, is only vanity. Who God, no God curse. He shall neither hunger nor thirst. Who God bless, no man shall ever curse. He shall be first. He shall be first. Uh-huh. Thank you, Comrade Chairman. Good night to the wonderful people of Grand Grand. Good night to all the comrades here assembled. I can feel the energy. I can feel the energy. The next time I come in this space will be in the month of June, when I come to open that building and the one next to it with a new parliament representative for this constituency in the Honorable Londell Benjamin. I'm here tonight to close the case. Close the deal once and for all. Let there be no doubt about why we're here tonight. We're here tonight because we're comparing Londell Benjamin, an appointed senator, with the others. All others. Baldwin Spencer, who served 29 years, 10 of which was Prime Minister. Anthony Stewart, who served as Chief of Staff to Baldwin Spencer. And the other fellow whose name I don't remember. Can you believe on the eve of an election, there's a candidate in this area whose name is not known? And why I'm comfortable, comrades, in closing the deal tonight, because I have all the arguments. Comrade Weston would say, I have the argumentation. And the arguments are very simple. For 29 years, Baldwin Spencer did absolutely nothing that one can recall in his constituency. And I want to challenge anyone in the audience, or anyone hearing me, who believe that they can postulate and suggest things that Baldwin has done, to come and take the second microphone and challenge me on stage. I am prepared to turn a public rally into a different kind of forum, a public debate. And why is no one going to challenge me? I can show you that within 3.5 short years, a fellow named Londell Benjamin, not yet elected, only appointed, has done so much for this community. I'm going to start right here on Knuckle Block. Turn your heads to the right, and you'll see the evidence. In June of this year, in 3 short months, we'll be back here to open these facilities. A community center, and the first of its kind in the OECS, an indoor basketball arena. That is at Baldwin Spencer. That didn't take 29 years. That took 3.5 years. That didn't take a man being elected. It took a man appointed with a commitment and a conviction as part of a team which speaks to and performs admirably on a daily basis. Let me go a little further. Because after 29 years, Baldwin Spencer cannot point to a single housing project he has developed in this constituency. 29 years, mark you. Not a single house, far-let housing project in this community. And whilst I talk of 29 years, I must highlight that 10 of those years, he served as Prime Minister. In 3.5 years, on the flip side of the discussion, a fellow named Londell Benjamin, and a government led by a young man called Gaston Brown, and a party called the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, started to build a housing project in this community. In an excess of 60 homes being constructed for the benefit of the people of this community who have demonstrated a shortage of housing in the country. That's number 2. So we're comparing now 29 years. You know what? I want to be kind to Baldwin. I want to be kind. I won't compare 29. I'll compare simply the 10 of Prime Minister with 3. How that sound? I want to bring him close to the game. Let him feel like he has some kind of chance of being considered. But then I can't do that because if I do that, I'll be lying to the people of Antigua and Barbuda. He served the constituency for 29 long years and did nothing.
I heard them the other night in some lounge they had, trying to give accolades to Baldwin Spencer. A great man he was. I'm still waiting to hear any of them point to any instance of greatness. Baldwin's greatness resides in his longevity, where he served for 29 years, but full stop. Nothing to show. But I want to go further. I'm going down to Five Islands, another part of this very glorious community of Grand Grand, where for 29 years, a single school he could not build. A single tertiary institution he could not even think of. And in 3.5 years, a fellow named Londell Benjamin, a fellow named Gaston Brown, a party called the Antigua and Barbuda Party, and on the cusp now of opening the first ever tertiary institution in Antigua and Barbuda, the University campus of the West Indies. That comrades in 3.5 years. And if you think I will stop there, you're mistaken. I'm going to go further. Because also in this community, in this constituency, 3 hotels, not 1, not 2, but 3 hotels are being built for the benefit of the expansion of the hotel industry and the benefit of creating employment opportunities for people. I don't think I have any more reason to stay on the stage tonight. I don't think there's anything left to say. I think I've closed the deal. And I know that the people of Grand Grand are serious people. And I know that for some of them, they have looked at things for the last 3.5 years as casual happenstance. Not realizing that when you compare Baldwin's tenure of 29 years with Londell's appointed tenure of 3.5 years, that the man, the real deal is Londell Benjamin. When you compare UPP 10 years and Baldwin as Prime Minister 10 years with Gaston Brown 3.5 years and the work he has done in this community, notwithstanding the fact that we do not currently hold a seat, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that Gaston Brown, 1, is serious about development of Antigua and Barbuda, and that no community will be left behind. And if you agree with that, you will agree with me also that the man for this election come March 21 has to be in this area, Londell Benjamin. This one does not take any rocket science. This one, you can even use Driftwood, who has no brain, to reason this one. This one has no competition, Mama, you're quite right. Because for 29 years I've made a case to you, and not a single one of you can challenge. Nothing has been done in this area. And in 3.5 years, I've pointed to you major development activities in this Grand Grand community. As a matter of fact, if you could vote for Prime Minister based on this level of performance, I want to tell Gaston, Londell will edge him out. Because here in this community, you have major activities. Cultural center, basketball court, housing project, university, and 3 hotels. What else does Londell Benjamin have to do to prove to the people of Grand Grand that he's the most suitable candidate in this election? And if the people of Grace Farm, Green Bay, Five Islands are people who understand their own best interests, I have difficulties understanding that anybody in their right minds would vote for anybody but Londell Benjamin. As a matter of fact, I'm forced now to borrow another line from the fella who is drifting. He said only people with brain and head can support UPP. And with this kind of performance record, I want to say to anybody and everybody, you must be somebody without a brain in their head to vote for anything that mark on UPP this election in this community. And so, comrades, as we head up to March 21, I want to do something tonight that I've done on every other occasion I've spoken so far. Remind us that we must not be complacent. Remind us that we must find and hold close to our hearts even our voters' ID cards. I want to remind us of this. Because as I go around the country, especially St. Paul's, I say, oh, Chet, you don't win, you don't win. And I believe that tonight, after making the case for London's election, people may just say, London have no competition. He don't win. But Londell Benjamin, Chet Green, and the rest of the Labour Party candidates cannot win and will not win until and unless you the people go to the polls on election day in numbers. And so the encouragement tonight is the one. Make sure you can locate your voters' ID cards. I know that a friend of mine said to me, he treats his ID like condoms. He don't leave home without it. Well, whatever you hold close to you, near to you, if you're a religious person, you don't leave home without your Bible. If you're a pharmacist, you don't leave home without certain kind of tools and equipment. If you're a plumber, you have a little bag. If you're a doctor, you have your medical kit. Treat your ID the same way. Make sure you can always find or locate your ID. Because come March 21, we're not only encouraged to go to the polls, we're encouraged you to go out early. Go out early and do what? Done them. We have an obligation to this country and to prove to the rest of the world that we in Antigua and Barbuda understand our best interests. That we will never go back to the dark years of 2004 to 2014. That we understand we've moved on. This country's economy has grown leaps and bounds over the last 3.5 years. And we will not allow Harold, Loveland, and the likes of Harold, to put hands on this country's governance again. Never again. And so the people of Grace Farm, Green Bay, 5 Islands, my encouragement to you tonight is to weigh all that's before you. Remembering, of course, that the DNA is the same between two. But more than that and more important is to look at London Benjamin's track record. It's about programs. It's about policies. It's about performance. You, the people of this community, have 3 P's to consider. Programs, policies, and a performance. On the basis of those 3, I humbly submit to you and close the case tonight that the only person that can be elected come March 21st to represent this glorious constituency of St. John's Rural West is Senator, the Honorable London Benjamin. Let's return to Parliament as the elected member for Parliament for this constituency. God bless you. Good night. I love you all.
What a case he presented. Comrade, all you didn't say at the end was, Your Honor, the defense rests. What a case for Landale. You know, there's some people going around, and sometimes when I listen to them, I simply offer a word of prayer and say, Father, pity them simplicity. I hear somebody saying that Labour Party no do nothing. Well, I took an elderly cousin of mine to the doctor today, just for a regular check. And the doctor is someone who has been practicing here for many decades. And the doctor looked at me and he said, she's fine. But you know, just run some tests for just for certainty. And he said to me, look, he said, go up to Mount St. John. Every piece of equipment up there is working. Doctor looked me in my face today. Now you know when we came to office, nothing of the work. Nothing. I can take you tonight to a place where they have all the old equipment abandoned. Labour Party came in and changed that. Some years ago, I was coming home with my father, and we decided to drive into that housing project at Follies. That was being built by Chester Hughes and his uncle, Brother B. When I went in there, I was ashamed. The security was working at the time, knew me. And so she said, let me give you some keys so you can look in some of the houses. Comrade, it's true. Termite was eating down the houses. Cattle was taking the veranda to make shelter. I'm not kidding. Today, just for the fun of it, I say, let me drive into the place. 90% of the houses are occupied. Labour Party went in 3.5 years. We have completely renovated every house in the Follies development. And Comrade Green then a hand on brain because they say Labour Party not do nothing. And I don't think it's no brain then I have, then dead. Then dead. Rural West, you ready? You're not ready. Rural West, you ready? The next time at a political meeting, if God spares my life and I have to introduce this gentleman, me no want to say no senator. Me want to say the honorable minister of whatever the prime minister decide to give him, London Benjamin. I believe, comrades, Rural West, I want to begin where Minister Green left off. This is a serious election. There's no room for complacency. I have not won as yet. I will not win until the 21st of March. I want you to remember that. So we are going full force ahead. Even though I have retired the big guy, Baldwin. I retired him. And even though he has retired Strode twice, and even though he has retired the other guy once, they still want to come back. So what we're going to do, we're going to dun them. Dun them. Retirement not good enough for them, so we're going to dun them. Dun them. Dun them. They must come back here. Last week I retired the other guy. The one that said he was Minister of Finance. I retired him last week, but then he came back Sunday, crazy like a madman. He gonna cut this, and he gonna cut that, and he gonna cut that. The guy is crazy. The guy is crazy. He gone crazy. We gave him a vehicle full of petrol, and we gave him some reserve that his friend gave him. You know his friend Hugo Chavez? Hugo gave him $350 million to put in the spare tank. We gave him, remember, up to 2004, there was no income tax. We gave him income tax, and we gave him ABST, and he still couldn't balance the books.
But now he gonna cut. And he gonna cut. And he gonna cut. The man is mad. Pure mad. He's a mad man. And you know why he gone so mad? Because he cannot believe that after 3.5 years, a young man by the name of Gaston Brown could turn this country around. Turn the country around. Man, the man cut in, and he cut in, and he cut in. And you know something? Ask any businessman. If you're running a business, you have what is called revenue, and you have what is called expenses. He cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, you know. He ain't said nothing about expenses yet. So I don't know how he gonna run the country. Before he start the business, he bankrupt. The man bankrupt. But he's accustomed to that road. He's accustomed to the bankruptcy road. You forget he took us there? He's the first prime minister to ever take Antigua on the bankruptcy road. $320 million in bankruptcy. The man is mad. The man is mad. Look, and it's not how he mad, you know. Let me read just, look, I had to walk with this book tonight because I find my brains couldn't hold everything. So I said, let me go back. And I was reading an article by IMF. Article 76. Significant in-year budget adjustments are frequent and not done in a transparent manner. That is never laid before the House of Parliament. That means when he was there, Minister of Finance, he did things and he didn't carry them to Parliament. He prepared his budget, and to show you the man ain't know nothing about budgeting. You can imagine that this man prepared a budget 1 year, and he left out 214 items. The man left out 214 items out of his budget to a value of what? $33 million. So he prepared a budget and left out $33 million of expenses. You know, it's the same thing he coming back to do now. He cutting, but he ain't telling us nothing about the expenses. No wonder he could say, well, he cut so much that he's going to kill all of us. That he say, well, look, I'll give you a break on the ABST for your funeral. We gonna done them. We gonna done them. They have no place here. We gonna chase them crazy bald head out of town. We gonna done them. We gonna done them. That is what we gonna do. We don't want them back here. For 29 years, they kept you in poverty because they wanted to rule over you. We gonna done them. We gonna done them. He had this place. This place was an active business place. People earned their income here to support their families. He came one day and he pushed it down. He pushed it all down. And it was in the pipeline for 10 years. And the young man, Gaston Brown, and you know the first conversation I had with him? You know, he told me, we are from the ghetto. I will not leave you behind. And here it is. Here it is. That's Gaston Brown helping another ghetto man to strive. Gaston Brown, a community center. And I'm appealing to all my constituents tonight that center is your center and you have to take care of it. You have to take care of it. And we are going to replicate inside here the program that Samantha Marshall has started, the Second Chance program. We're going to done them. We're going to done them. They're not coming back here. We're done with them. So I'm telling you, we're going to run classes inside here. We're going to develop your literacy. We're going to develop your educational standard, because it is one thing that will take you out of poverty: education. Without a good education, you will always do well. And I'm telling you, little children, come to the community center and learn well. Learn well. But let's go back. Let's go back to his performance. In 2012, he prepared another budget. He prepared another budget, and he left out 376 items. And so he had to prepare 376 supplementary budget. And he never took them to Parliament. They did as they like, because they were king, to the value of $47 million. He didn't have it in his spending. He didn't have it in his spending column, because he didn't know what to do. And now he coming to tell you he gonna cut again. And he gonna cut again. And he gonna cut again. But we gonna done them. We gonna done them. Chase them crazy ballhead out of town. We gonna done them. We gonna done them. We gonna done them. And then they come and have all their blind blue people following them, saying they can't see what Gaston Brown has done in 3.5 years. Look, I started listing them. I started listing what Gaston Brown has done. I started listing them. And the first one, the government saved hundreds of millions in deposit at the ABI Bank, thereby preventing a collapse of the banking system in the OECS. And then the government, who was debtor, now owns the shares in West Indies Oil Company and the surrounding lands without spending a single dollar. The man is a genius. The man is a genius. And that is why I love him. He's my prime minister. And he's young and intelligent. And I said to myself, when he performed that miracle, and I tell you, it has to be a miracle. When he performed that miracle of saving that bank, they were fighting with it for near 5 years. Couldn't find no solution. And my prime minister says, that is easy. Depositors Protection Trust. Leave your money. He called the people with 500,000 and more, and he spoke to them, and he got their agreement to leave their money there. It would have been a run on the bank, and not only the banks in Antigua, all the banks in the OECS, and perhaps the region, because it would have gone beyond the OECS. The man is a good man. Then they say, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything. Then we move on to Mount St. John's, the Health Center of Excellence. We did that in 3.5 years. 3.5 years. And then we evacuated the people from Barbuda after the threat of the hurricane. We did that. We did that. And the government, my government, is currently paying for people to repair homes in Barbuda. We did that. Then they say we don't love Barbudans. All we want is the land. And they don't own no land over there, you know. They don't own any lands over there. But they keep saying that we want the land. But then again, look at young Gaston Brown. You get a man like me, and he said, I will come down and help you. And he said, look, if you find lands, I will give you 150 homes. And I said, boy, I know most of the lands down here owned privately. But Garfield and myself, we went around and we found a young man named Gary. And Gary said, look, I have lands down here. I have over 100 acres of land down here owned by one Mr. Pinder. And Mr. Pinder gave those lands land opportunity to Baldwin. Over 10 years ago, I said, you got to be crazy. And what he did, he said he ain't do nothing. The man sleeping. I said, well, he always sleeping. And so we went back to the PM, and we said, PM, we found some lands. And he said, where? And we said, Denfield. And he said, who is the owner? And we said, some man Pinder. And he said, well, look, let's strike a deal with him. I can do an offset with him because he has some money for the government. And so we went and we got the lands. And right now we have 60 plus homes down there to be delivered to our people before the end of June. 60 homes. And you know what? I said, boy, Baldwin must be a madman. You know what he said in Parliament? Where the people going to get money to pay for those homes? That is how the man think about you. You must not own anything good. So we got to done them. Done them. He don't want you own a home for $200 and anything $1,000. Gaston Brown is giving you a home valued at $285,000 for $185,000. Even before you step foot in that home, you have equity plus of $100,000 that you can go anywhere, any bank, and get a second charge and a third charge to develop yourself. That is what we call empowerment. And let me warn you, this election is all about stability and empowerment. Who can stabilize this country? Gaston Brown and the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party. We are the only ones who can stabilize this country. We have proven it over and over and over again. In 1976, we came back. We stabilized. And we had it right up to 2004. 2004, the country was stabilized. And then they said they needed income tax and ABST to stabilize, but they did not stabilize. They ended up where? IMF. So let me go back to my paper. And I want all you young people to know this. You need to know your history to know how to make decisions. In 2013, listen this. In 2013, the same madman developed a budget and he left out 624 items. He took 624 supplementary budgets. Well, he didn't take them to Parliament. He used 624 supplementary budget to get money. And that amounted to $343 million. Then is when he decided to go the route of IMF. Because in those supplementary budget, he had to settle a judgment of over $100 million. You have to know all this history. So when you hear them coming shouting and shouting nothing, here, empty barrel here, right? The man to take us forward is a young man. I am fully behind him. I am fully behind Gaston Brown. An intelligent man. The man for the season. We have what? The father of the nation, the late Severe Cornwall Bird. We have the father of modern Antigua, the Honorable Sylvester Brian Bird, and we can't find a name for the Honorable Gaston yet. He's still young. He's still young. He's still young. I don't want to put him above the others yet. But Scripture says, he that come after is mightier. Not I say so, Scripture says so. He that come after is mightier. And we can see it. We can see it by his performance. By his performance. And let me tell you, people of rural West, let me get back to the second chance. You all have to come out here and learn so that you can get top positions. We have Amazon coming. We have Royalton being repaired. And we have Marriott coming. You need to get top positions. Because I walked around and I told my wife I never walked so much in my whole life. I walked this entire constituency from the market there, right up to Grey Hill, right down to Five Islands. I have been on every street, every road in this constituency, and I have asked questions. And would you believe we have over 5,000 registered voters down here? And I could hardly get my two hands. With folks making over $3,000 a month. What a shame. What a shame. And we had representation for 29 years. And we had a prime minister for 10 years. So I urge you, constituents, we have to increase our capacity so that we can earn more, so that we can develop this constituency. We're gonna done them, and we're gonna chase those crazy ball heads out of here. Thank you. Remember to vote Londell Benjamin, and Labour.
Antigua Barbuda, join us on the road to victory. Come out and meet your candidates. We're rebuilding together. A mega red concert starting at 8 p.m. Saturday, March 17th. The biggest performances by Idonia, Tion Winter, Leaky First, Claudette Peters, Tizzy, Minutes, Ratiga, Justin, Burning Flames. Ricardo Drew and the General Bungie Garland. And international recording artist, Akon. Meet your candidates. Join us on the road to victory. The proceeding was paid for by the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party.
Comrades, yes, you ready? You ready? We're not having any break. We're not giving nobody else no chance. When the votes are counted on the 21st of March, the Prime Minister will still be the Honorable Gaston Brown. Let's bring him on stage. Gaston Brown.
They can't stop us. I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life I am blessed. When I wake up in the morning and I lay my head to rest. Every day of my life I am blessed. Straight. And what? Them flop. 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 PP boys, them not ready yet. Them flop. Them flop. Them flop. Mistake we make them flop. Them flop. Them flop. Them flop. Them get whop. Them flop. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Are you ready? Rural West, are you ready? Grace Farm, are you ready? Are you ready for London? Are you ready for Labour? You sound ready. You ready? We ready? Absolutely, man. This time around, we're taking Rural West. You can take that to the bank. That come March 21st, 2018, Londell Benjamin shall be the representative of St. John's Rural West. And you know why? That is because he has performed. That is because the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party government has performed. And our performance throughout the length and breadth of this country, Antigua and Barbuda, will ensure that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party wins all 17. And I say to the people of this great nation that with all 17 seats, we will not abuse power. We will be responsible with the use of power, but the UPP must be taught a lesson. They destroyed this country. They put thousands of you out of work. They bankrupted many businesses, many individuals. Many of you lost your homes, lost your cars. This is your time to teach them a lesson. And I say to you that by so doing, you're also sending a message to future governments. When you fail the people, you have no prospects for leadership. When you fail the people, you shall stay out in the cold for a very long time. So that future governments must understand that in order to maintain power or to be returned to power, you must perform. At the end of the day, it is about the empowerment of the people. And that is what this great institution is all about empowering you, the people. And you can feel the difference. You can see the difference on the labor. Many of you who are not working before, you're working today thanks to labor. I recalled looking at Knuckle Block, driving down here during the day. Knuckle Block full of young men. Today they're working. Many of them are working down at the housing project. At Cooks. They're working throughout the length and breadth of this country. Because Labour Party has expanded the economy. We have created jobs. And I want to tell you, when it comes to investments, we are the best. There is no other government in the past that has attracted more investments in this country than the present Gaston Brown-led Labour Party administration. Let's hear it for Labour. Now, what is interesting is that even though we did not win the Rural West seat, we did not leave the people of this community behind. And by the way, you know, I made a mistake just now. We won it, they stole it. So, Rural West was stolen in 2014, but I tell you this time around, London's gonna wipe them out. But I was making a point. that even though you did not have a representative in the lower house, we did not leave rural West behind. You'd recall that prior to the last general elections, I said to you that rural West will be extremely lucky. Win or lose, you're going to have at least one representative, and a representative in Gaston Brown, because I'm a proud product of this community. Just like many of you, Uriah Mack, many of you, I lived in Parliament Street in Grace Farm as a little boy. I lived right beside the big gutter in Grace Farm. Whenever you had a large shower of rain, the muddy water from the gutter came into our little boardhouse. A boardhouse without kitchen, without toilet. I lived as the poorest among the poor. And I understand your struggles. And that is why I said to my cabinet colleagues, notwithstanding the fact that we did not win rural West, we have to prioritize development in this constituency. And that is why we went to the Martin family and we bought 25 acres of land from them. And we said, let's do a housing project, man. You go down to Cooks now and you would see perhaps in the region about 100 homes being constructed concurrently and more to build. So within a matter of months, that project will be available to provide good quality housing to the people of this constituency. But we recognize that the affordable homes that we're building now, that we're transitioning people from the lower end of the economic spectrum into the middle class, that those are unaffordable for most of you. We understand that. So you know what? We're coming with social housing. So that those of you who can afford perhaps under $1,000, a few $100 a month in rent, we also have a housing package for you that will start this year. And I said this year, not to be preemptive, not to count out chickens before they're hatched. But I am confident that Labour Party will win all 17. And that the Labour Party will return to government come March 21st, 2018. So we will have housing for individuals at all strata of the society. And for those of you who are indigent, who live in poor quality housing, there's help for you. We have what is called the Happy Project, in which we've been providing grants up to $20,000 per families to help them to get better housing, to repair the homes. In some instances, we built them new homes. Because at the end of the day, it's about empowering you. But you know what has happened since? The project has been popularized within the last few months. People are now coming forward and telling us and showing us exactly how they're living. There are many homes in this community, in my community and others, in which you see a nice facade outside, but inside the home, they have lots of problems. And as they take us to these homes, we recognize that we have a bigger problem than we anticipated. So immediately after March 21st, 2018, the Happy program will be expanded. We will up the ante and we will put millions of dollars annually into that program to assist the poor and the vulnerable. Because ultimately, we are here to serve you, to improve your living standards, to provide you with employment opportunities, to provide you with better housing, better educational opportunities, better quality health care. That is our pledge to you, the people of rural West, and all Antiguans and Barbudans in general. And these are not just mere promises. It is happening. You look at Mount St. John today. No one can dispute the fact that Mount St. John today has risen to be the best hospital within the OECS. And I want to commend Comrade Malwin Joseph for the excellent leadership. Let's hear it for him, man. And that is why I said to the media, Comrade Malwin Joseph can't move, he has to stay there. So he already showed up his ministry. Minister of Health and the Environment and Wellness. We're adding wellness to the name going into the new term. So one minister already appointed. Pardon me, not necessarily counting chickens before they hatch, but I have to tell you, we have been polling extensively. We had poll results up to today, and I want to tell you, Labour Party wiping them out. You know, for 3.5 years, they want to Observer Radio and Crusader night after night, day after day, saying they want elections, they want to get rid of the government. Now we call elections. This time we call it too soon. What is that? They want them? Exactly. So, the reality is, we are delivering for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. And I want to remind you that we're only in government for 3.5 years, less than 4 years. But our track record speaks for itself. And it would have taken a confident government to go to the polls 15 months earlier than is constitutionally due. But is that only confidence in ourselves? But it is confidence in you, the electorate, you, the electors of this country. We know that you have our backs. We have your back. We have your back, and you have our backs. At the end of the day, we are one family, one nation with a common destiny. So everything that we do it with you in mind. You know, prior to the last elections, we said to the people of Rural West that we would eliminate the North-South system. Today, I stand before you, less than 4 years, and I say, promise made, promise kept. After we took office in June of 2014, I called in the Chinese ambassador, Ambassador Wang. No, Ren Gongping, Ambassador Ren Gongping, the predecessor to Wang. And I asked him, what is going on with Knuckle Block? Knuckle Block has been in the pipe for decades. I said, Ambassador, I want to know what is going on with the sporting complex at Knuckle Block. He said to me, Prime Minister, well, you run things now. You can take it down to Point and Villa. I said to him, Ambassador, I'm a multi-gettist. I am a good mud man. I'm a getter man. I'm a Grey Sand man. I'm a Green Day man. I'm a Rural West man. Leave it down there. But guess what? You got to accelerate it. I want you to take that out the pipe and start to build it. And within a matter of months, they got a design team here, along with our ministry officials. Come with Chet Green, our chairman. Come with Londell Benjamin. They got together and they finalized the plans. And you can see the fruit of our labor. I will accept that the idea was Baldwin Spencer's idea, but he could not get it out of the pipe. We took it out of the pipe and we made it reality. And let me tell you something. I had a subsequent discussion with Ambassador Wang, the present Chinese ambassador. I said to him, look, we need 2 community centers and polyclinics. I need one in Willikies and I need one in Villa. This is less than a year ago. The designs have been completed by the Chinese and they will start construction by July of this year. But what that tells you is that there is greater respect for my government. So that whereas they sat on a project for 10 years for the former Prime Minister, this Prime Minister said to them, cough up the money, man. Let's go. So Villa will get a $10 million community center and community-centered clinic. And similarly, Willikies will get one. Because what we're trying to do here is to make sure that we improve primary and secondary health care. And I pledge to you tonight, the people of Rural West, and I'm sure Comrade Malwin Joseph will confirm when he speaks, that in this term, this new term, we will upgrade the Grace Farm Clinic. You deserve better, and you will get better. We will also upgrade your police station.
And of course, we'll make sure that we complete the affordable homes and commence the social housing. Already, we have gotten a grant of $5 million from the government of Mexico. And I'm starting in Point. Don't get jealous. But when we finish the Point, we come into Grace Farm. So you too will have social housing starting very shortly to make sure that we provide you with good housing. But there will be yet another housing program that we'll put in place. And that is a low-interest loan program so that you can borrow to repair your homes. Ultimately, we don't want a ghetto in this country. We want to make sure that everybody in this country enjoy a good living standard. As I said to the people in Villa, when you go to Paradise Cove, it's no longer Judge Bay. And let me tell you now, when we move up in language. Paradise Cove, formerly Judge Bay. I said to them, you don't have to worry to go and spend $5,000 per term to send your child to Island Academy. Villa School is just as good or even better. We just spent $4 million to upgrade Villa Primary School. And I want to tell you, we're coming down to Green Bay Primary too. We're coming. So look out, Rural West. It is in your interest to continue to support Comrade Londell Benjamin. I don't have to tell you about the integrity and the skills of this man. He's well known. A gentleman who walked the streets of this community, who represented you in sports. A man who is an accountant. A man who will continue to contribute towards the socio-economic development of this area. It is therefore in your interest to vote for Comrade Londell Benjamin. I said to you tonight, the people of Rural West, make sure this time around that your vote counts. Vote for your empowerment. Vote for Labour. Vote for Londell Benjamin. But our projects are not only social projects, because we believe very strongly that in order to support our social projects, to include more scholarships to the people of Rural West and the people of Antigua and Barbuda, that we have to generate income. We have to generate more jobs. So let me tell you what is happening in Rural West. Presently, Sunwing is spending $100 million to refurbish the Royal Antiguan Hotel. So they'll have a new Royalton Hotel right in this constituency by November of this year. And that hotel alone will generate 800 new jobs. And I said to you tonight that I've already spoken to Stephen Hunter. And I said to Stephen, I know you have hotels in other countries, but you're not bringing the workers here. Unless they're going to transfer skills, leave them in the Dominican Republic, leave them in St. Lucia, employ the people of Rural West and Antiguans and Barbudas in general. Those are the instructions that he was given. So you can be assured that work is coming. But that's not the only hotel. You know that the former Yapton's Hotel was broken down, demolished. And there's now a new Marriott being constructed in this constituency. So not only construction jobs, but you'll also have career jobs within these hotels. There's also a local group that will be constructing a small boutique hotel next to the Marriott at the Uptons. So in this new term, under the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, you're getting 3 hotels in this constituency. And let us not forget that the Crown Jewel Royal Antiguan was actually shuttered on the UPP. Let us not forget that a Royal Antiguan that used to bring about 50,000 or host about 50,000 tourists a year was actually reduced to nothing, to literally rubble under the UPP. It took a Labour Party government to revive it. But come 2019, you're getting a 4th hotel. That's right. Sunwing in 2019 will start construction of a new hotel in partnership with the government of Antigua and Barbuda. So the lagoon next to the Royal Antiguan Hotel, we gave them a significant amount of land as part of our equity. So we will end up with about 16, 17% equity. Equity for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. So when we get the dividends, we put the dividends in the treasury, to fund education, to fund healthcare, to fund housing. But we have more opportunities for you. Let me tell you now, when it comes to plan, they can't stop us. We not only have our manifesto, any one of us can stand here and we can address you for a few hours to tell you about our plans. You would know about the entrepreneurial program, the Prime Minister's Entrepreneurial Development Program, the EDP. We have just put $1 million into that program. But we did not stop there. We have introduced a 5% or 5-cent tax on all international calls coming into this country. So that we expect to raise about $3 million a year. And that would go towards funding entrepreneurship. I say to you, the people of Rural West, that you have a lot of talented people in this constituency. Not only talented in terms of culture, pan, sports, and so on, but in terms of your intellect, your creativity. And we want you to use your creativity to come up with viable projects that can be funded by this initiative. We do not want all of you to be dependent on a job. You must be able to create your own employment opportunities, to be entrepreneurs, and even to employ others. So I ask you to seize that opportunity. And there'll be many other opportunities for you to seize. But I say to you too that perhaps the most important project that we will embark upon, maybe in the history of Antigua and Barbuda, is the establishment of the 4th landed campus of the University of the West Indies right here in Five Islands in this constituency. Your former representative and prime minister, former prime minister, he said to you that he wanted a secondary school. We say, no man, take a university. That too will create a lot of opportunities. Opportunities for you to rent vehicles to the students who will come here to study, to live here, to rent homes. Some of you who have good homes here in Grace Farm, Green Bay, Donovan's, you can provide rental opportunities. Cars, I want to tell you, one of the most successful, let's say, group of entrepreneurs is a twin brother from this constituency. I think I saw one of them earlier today. I hear them making money like rain. And you know why? Because my government decided it's not Honey and them alone can sell used car. Our local people and them from Pine and Grace can sell used car too. And my government set them up. I know Honey may be vexed, but my dear comrade Honey, you have some young people that get to, they want to break too. I know the Hadis too. They may be angry because they say they're selling less new cars. But one of the reasons why we give you those duty frees, we want you to buy your car cash. We want you to go into the bank and get burdened down for 5 years, 7 years to pay back for a car loan. We want you to buy your car cash, save your money, and invest. That is the objective. That is why we give you those duty frees. And when the various organizations, the CDB, Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, said to us, we should not be giving you the duty frees, we say, hell no, they must get it. That's what you call empowerment. But irony about it, even the members of the UPP and higher level, they berated us for giving you the duty frees on your motor vehicles. But hear what they want to do now. They want to go and give corporate Antigua, Scotiabank, and all the other foreign institutions, FCIB, they want to go and give them now $40 million in their pockets to repatriate, to send to Canada. I tell you, they are mad people. They don't care about you. I say to you that that decision is criminal. So, monies that we're utilizing now to pay for health care, to pay for education, they want to now put it into the pockets of the few. We say that we are a government for the many, a government of the masses. And you know why? Your leader emanated out of the grassroots. I emanated out of the working class people of this country. And whereas we'll continue to provide opportunities for all, I say that my government will continue to protect and to promote the best interests of the working class people. Because the reality is, when you do well, the wealthy do better. When you do well, you can buy more cars from them, you can buy more products from them, you can consume more, they make more money, they sell more, they make more profits, everybody win. But under the former administration, only a small cadre of people, Harold Lovell and his cronies. So for example, a man named Dr. Lake, I know he vexed, but guess what? As they say, all is fear in love and war. And it's not I'm trying to necessarily attack him, but he's a prime example. The man had 2 excavators, cost $600,000, and he ended up making $30 million on the UPP. How did that happen? Why didn't they give that opportunity to someone from Pointer Grace Farm? You know what they did? They lock up our young people for a spliff. Even Harold Lovell, they say he smoked more herb than Bob Marley. But even though he's a known marijuana smoker, because he knows that police will not trouble him because of who he is, he had no empathy for you. So 10 years, and he could not move a bill for the decriminalization of marijuana. Labour say, no man, that no fear. They not lock up no doctor. They not lock up no lawyer. And plenty of them smoke marijuana. They go down to the ghetto and they terrorize the ghetto youths. Labour Party said that the right. And we stopped it. And that is why today you can smoke, you can walk with up to your 15 grams. Not encouraging you to go public and go and smoke in public and to offend others. Smoke in the privacy of your home. Smoke as much marijuana you want, but be responsible. So, the point I'm making here, this is a government that is looking at all aspects of your development. We are about you. You are us and we are you. There's nothing snobbish about any member in my cabinet. I only snobbish when I travel abroad, you know. When me travel abroad, me a world boss. So, you know, that when Antigua and Barbuda takes a position at the United Nations, at the OAS, the Non-Aligned Movement, CELAC, OECS, CARICOM, they must listen. Up to today, I had a call from a South American leader thanking me for a position that we took at the OAS. We represent this country globally on many issues. So when they talk about bringing back the pride, bring back what pride? Nobody had any respect for them. Baldwin Spencer was considered literally to be a dunce. Could not open his mouth in the international arena. And you're telling me, now that you have international representation, they're trying to say that they restored pride? They destroyed this country. They did not see us as a country that had any capacity. Today, our competitors are now saying, hold on a second, man. Do you recognize you're the second smallest country in the Western Hemisphere? But we said to them, it's not about size. It's about ability. And that is what the Labour Party brings. We bring ability. We bring competence. We bring the conviction to empower you, the people of Antigua and Barbuda. And our philosophy is an egalitarian philosophy designed to uplift all the people. So even though we're saying here that we're primarily responsible for the grassroots, we will not do anything to hurt anyone. We'll make sure individuals at all strata of the society continue to advance. And tonight, before I close, I just want to speak briefly about the issue of corruption. I can stand here and in any other forum, in any fora, locally, regionally, and internationally, and defend the stewardship of my government. We have been good stewards of public resources. There was no wastage of your resources. There was no extortion of public resources. Because guess what? I'm here the finance minister, man. They have to cross me. And if you get past the finance officials, maybe. If you have to pass the line minister, But guess what? When it comes to the Prime Minister, you can't pass me. Because I take my responsibility seriously about protecting state resources to make sure that they are utilized exclusively for your empowerment. Now let us look at Harry Lovell. Harry Lovell did a deal with a man named Willie B. Mello, a company named BAP, took up 10 acres of our prime beach property at Valley Church Beach and gave the man for free. Yes. When we got into government, I said to Willie B. Mello, call him on the phone, and said to him, you either give back the land or we take it to court. I said to him, that is what you call unjust enrichment. A minister can't take up 10 acres of our land and give a man to build a hotel. After 10 years, he built nothing and he continued to hold on to our land. He refused to cooperate. I said to him, in that case, you can't build nothing under my government. And I said to him, trust me, we get in at least 2-3 terms. So for the next 10 years at least, you can't put nothing on that. He eventually buckled, but guess what? We had to give $1 million US to take care of him. And when we were about to sign the contract, we had Ambassador Gilbert Bustani representing us. He asked for another $1 million US. When he asked him for whom, he said, for those in the UPP who helped me to get the land. You understand what went down there? So I said to him, boss, a joke, you make it up. $1 million US. If not, we go to court. And we paid him the $1 million US. But here what we have done since. We have since sold that land to Calvin Ayre, the billionaire Calvin Ayre, for $12 million US to build a hotel for 100 million United States dollars. That is what you call progress. That is what you call competence. Let us now examine another one. And I could go on and on, you know, but Comrade Marlon Joseph has to come next. One final one. You'll get more as I go along. One final one. There's a company named Bopanel. They had some kind of deal in which they gave them 78 acres of our prime land at Cedar Valley Golf Course. Then they gave them another 250 acres of our land. Then they pay 1 cent, you know. Put it in some companies, it's a joint venture. And here the deal is, if they make a profit, then we would get a return. Now you know that when it comes to manipulating profits, that's the easiest thing to do. So we called them in after the elections and said to them, hey, and that's how we work, you know. We have to protect government's assets. In addition to that, they gave them 17 acres of waterfront property at Crabs. You do the math. About $50 million worth of land. And you know how much money they invested? They built 2 model houses, cost $150,000 each a piece. So it was a hustle. We said to them, look, we're not blocking your project, but all this land that the UPP gave to you, that is vulgar. So we took back 200 and something acres of land from them. We left them with about 40 acres, and we said to them, you can sell the land for $2 per square foot to the people. You use that and develop it. The land at Crabs, we said you can have 5 acres. Remember, they didn't pay nothing, you know. They got all this for free. And let me tell you something here. It was a speculative deal. So when they tell you how we scuttled Bopanel project, we never scuttled it. My understanding now is that they just restarted and building 6 homes. So if they can build 1,000, we'll accommodate them. But not for them to hold on to our land and to speculate with the people's patchy money. We had many of those issues to deal with. You know about the $1.4 billion that they say that they spent on roads, and today all the roads are bad. It's thief the money. And I said to you, the people of Rural West, and the people of Antigua and Barbuda in general, that a money them a look. They're broke. They wasted the monies. They got the money easy. Easy come, easy go. They say that me have plenty money. He may have plenty, and for me, in a tea-fum. And I have said to my colleagues, build your wealth legitimately. I make no apologies about that. The last thing I want is a bunch of hustlers in my cabinet who fail to invest, live a life of profligacy, smoke 10 big heads a day at maybe $100 per big head, waste all the salary, save nothing, invest nothing, and then give it the country. I say to them, save your money, invest, so that you're not vulnerable. Vulnerable politicians will sell out this country. We have individuals in this party, in this government, who are capable, they're experienced, they're qualified, and they are committed to your advancement. Comrade Londell Benjamin is one of those individuals, and I ask you sincerely to support him. I ask your support, knowing that this is your time. This is the people's time. I thank you, my dear comrades. Thank you very much. Love you, and see you at our next rally. Thank you.
Antigua, Barbuda, join us on the road to victory. Come out and meet your candidates. We're rebuilding together. A mega red concert starting at 8 p.m. Saturday, March 17th. The biggest performances by Idoni, Tion Winter, Licky First, Claudette Peters, Tizzy, Minutes, Ratiga, Justin, Burning Flames, Ricardo Drew, and the General Bungie Garland. And international recording artist, Akon. Come out and meet your candidates. Join us on the road to victory. The proceeding was paid for by the Antigua Barbuda Labor Party.
That was our Prime Minister, and will continue to be our Prime Minister. Well, it's not me say so, no, it's the Prime Minister say one ministry done allocated. It was prior to the 1989 general elections that I got a call from this gentleman and invited me to join him at a political meeting in Cashew Hill. First time going on a platform on a Saturday night. No, you're not meeting whole a Saturday night. The only two speakers were myself and Comrade Malwin Joseph. I have had the utmost respect for this gentleman from then. Join me tonight in welcoming the man who transformed healthcare in this country, Comrade Malwin Joseph.
Good night, comrades. We are here tonight to ensure that Comrade Londell Benjamin becomes the next representative of rural West. It cannot be acceptable that this constituency that was represented by a prime minister for 10 solid years is the constituency that has experienced the least forward progress in the entire Antigua and Barbuda. That is unacceptable. And tonight, I want to engage you briefly on some of the things you must consider before you go to the polls on March the 21st. This election is easily the most pivotal election in the recent history of Antigua and Barbuda. And you must understand why the election was called early. When you have a government that has succeeded in 3.5 years to demonstrate the capacity not only to grow the economy, but to solve some of the most serious problems encountered by any government, you have to accept that it is a government to be protected. Gaston Brown, as leader, was able to move this country from a debtor of West Indies Oil Company to an owner of the West Indies Oil Company. Gaston Brown was able, comrades and friends, to also solve one of the most serious problems ever faced this country financially. The banking system was about to fail. But in spite of all the difficulties, we have been able to attract investment in Antigua and Barbuda exceeding $1.5 billion. When the UPP realized the success of this administration, they undertook the most dangerous form of political undermining and terrorism of this government. So what we were left with? We were left with the challenge. Should we allow the UPP the opportunity to continue to undermine the economy? Should we allow them to terrorize, besmirch the name of Antigua and Barbuda? Or should we come to the people of Antigua and Barbuda? So the Prime Minister decided, under the circumstances, we will come to the people of Antigua and Barbuda to renew our mandate. And then the Prime Minister used a biblical term: the election will come like a thief in the night. Now, you know, even though the thief in the night, the election was told that the country, told the political organization, UPP, and all the others, they were told it's coming a thief in the night. When the election came, they were still not ready. They were not ready. Now, if somebody tells me the thief is coming in the night, I have watchmen all night. I'm going to be vigilant. But here it is, Joan Messiah. She said, the election is going to be on March 8th. So you would have thought you'd be ready. Nomination day came. And what happened? 13 candidates out of 17. She ready? Can't be ready. Then the UPP. Then they said, why is the Prime Minister calling the election so early? Because he's afraid. He is afraid, so he called the election early. Now, a man who is fearful would delay the election, not call it early. He would delay the election. So the Prime Minister called the election early to protect Antigua and Barbuda and the investments we have lined up for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. And I have to ask the question, when is it not the right time to consult the people of a country? Every government should be in a position, have the confidence that they can come to the people and say, we wish to renew our mandate. And that is what is being done tonight. And I can tell you, just recently I was in a meeting in Bowlands, and I'm a meeting here tonight, and there is no question that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party is poised to win all 17 seats in Antigua and Barbuda. I want to, in my short stint here tonight, to use a document put out by the UPP. And I want you to think about this. Because, you know, when a political organization does not take the people of Antigua and Barbuda seriously, that political organization will tend to make mistakes or overlook something. Here is a document from the UPP. And this document is supposed to represent the manifesto of the UPP. It is supposed to forecast to the people of Antigua and Barbuda the intentions of the UPP. And they came up with the document and they call it talent. Talent. And you know why they use the word talent? They're seeking to subliminally say to you, they have a talented group of men. Not such a thing. There's no talent here. But it gets worse than that. And I will tell you what they highlighted in this document. They highlighted several ministries. They highlighted the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of National Security, Technology and Social Programs, Social Transformation. What it is that they did not highlight. They did not highlight two of the most important ministries in the history of Antigua and Barbuda or in any government. There was nothing mentioned about the Ministry of Finance or the Ministry of Tourism in this document. Not a thing. And I will tell you why they can't highlight tourism. They can't highlight health and finance. You know why? Because they flop. They flop in those two ministries. You take, for instance, the Ministry of Health and what we have been able to do. The Prime Minister mentioned that for 10 solid years, 10 years, the UPP administration had the opportunity to eliminate the night source system in Antigua and Barbuda. Just imagine, between 2004 and 2014, they had these carts running in St. John City. And you know where they came? Right through this community. Right through this community. And within 1.5 years, 1.5 years of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, we wiped out the whole night side system. And I want to share with you tonight another program that we are going to undertake because of health reasons. We are going to eliminate all pit latrines in Antigua and Barbuda. I want to repeat this. Because of health concerns, this government will eliminate all pit latrines in Antigua and Barbuda. The same way we found the resources to upgrade the living standards of Antigua and Barbuda by eliminating the north-side system, we are going to do the same thing by eliminating pit latrines. In this community, we are going to build one of the 5 polyclinics right here in Green Bay and Grace Farm. The land has been identified, and the whole idea that this community should always be behind is not just. It is not right for some of the most talented people in Antigua and Barbuda to come out of this community. And you had a prime minister who was not vigilant in ensuring the upliftment of the people. We are saying this is why Londell Benjamin should be elected as the next representative of Rural West. Londell Benjamin comes with skills, he comes with experience, and he comes with a good background in accounting. He can fit into an Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party government. This is the time for change. People of Rural West, this is your opportunity to change the course. You need to take this opportunity seriously. Don't accept second-class standard in your country. You should be socially, economically on the same level as all the other communities in Antigua and Barbuda. And to think that you're being represented for all these years as a prime minister is a crying shame that we have not had more development in all aspects, whether it's housing or the economic advancement in Antigua and Barbuda. So we are on this campaign to ensure that come March the 21st, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party will form the next government. And we make sure that that $1.5 billion that is there to be invested will be protected for all the people in this country. In St. Mary's North, we have a fellow half a man that has come to contest the election. Half a man. Come in the same vintage as Chester Hughes and others. And I'm saying that collectively, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party has assembled one of the most competent set of men to form a cabinet in Antigua and Barbuda. And I want to commend the Prime Minister, not like Lovell, from the UPP. Only three ministers from UPP left. The others abandoned ship. They decided they can't work with Lovell. They're all gone. And now Lovell had to go and seek candidates. And he went into every constituency and he said, if you have 2 eyes, 2 feet, 2 hands, come up. Even if you don't have any brain, 2 hands, 2 feet, come right up. And that's exactly what he got. You had a man, first time he was asked a question. In the very field, he said he was an expert. He said he was a farmer. They asked him a question about farming, about agriculture. And for 3 times, he made an attempt to say, all right, I have to collect my thoughts. 3 times he tried to collect his thoughts and couldn't find them. Could not even find his thoughts. And Lovell has him. I want to challenge Lovell tonight. I want to challenge Howard Lovell to name his cabinet. He should name his cabinet and present it to the people of Antigua and Barbuda. Tell us who is going to be your finance minister. It can't be Lovell again. Can't be. Who is going to the Minister of Agriculture? Can't be Loving. He's still finding his thoughts. Who is going to be the Minister of Tourism? I want to end tonight by telling you, politics is serious business. And when you hear I stand before you on a political platform, at the back of my mind is the reality that as an elected official and as a minister of government, whatever I do or what I say can affect your life in an enormous way. And you must understand that you have an obligation too on March the 21st, that when you go to the poll and make a decision and vote for a party, it could affect your life in a profound manner. You can't make a mistake. No candidate of the United Progressive Party can make the case to be re-elected. Not a single one of them. Lovell was the worst finance minister this country has ever seen, and based on statistics, he was the worst finance minister between 2004 and 2014. In the entire world, he had the worst record. That is a fact. Don't talk about Daniel. Wilmer Daniel presided over the worst ministry of health in the history of Antigua and Barbuda. When you realize, and I can tell you, because this job has not been easy, I had to spend days and evenings in my office to make sure that we develop healthcare and develop the hospital. And I asked myself, how could a minister of health leave his office at 12 o'clock every day? Every day, 12 o'clock. And you have doctors to look after. You have diagnostic equipment to look after. You have a whole health system, the nation health, right in your hands. Right in your hands, you're responsible for. When a woman is making a baby and doing a delivery, the Minister of Health is responsible to make sure she has a safe delivery. That's how I see my job. When a youngster goes to the hospital in the emergency room, I am concerned. And this is why at the hospital right now, we have decided that we are going to create a pediatric section for emergency. Right now in the hospital, everybody go to the emergency, whether you're adult or a child. We are separating it so that when children go to the hospital, you have the right disciplines and you have their own space. That's what we're doing. Just today at Bones Avenue, we opened a pediatric clinic, the first time in the history of Antigua and Barbuda. It's not good enough for the children to only have the clinics that all adults go to. What we have done, we have created a special clinic for the children. So when you have your babies, they will go there to be evaluated. If they have any abnormality, it is detected because we have a consultant that is trained in that field of discipline. That is what we are doing. I was on Observer today, and Dave Lester Payne asked me, well, Mr. Minister, I want you to tell the nation what you have achieved in 2.5 hours, 2.5 years. And then when I started, an hour passed, and Dave Lester Payne looking at me and asked me, I go down yet. Whole list. We have the hyperbaric chamber in St. John's now, right at Mount St. John. And then they come around and say, oh, what has the Antigua Labour Party done in 2.5 years? I know that the people have recognized that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party has performed. And it is because of that that I anticipate that every candidate for the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party will be successful come March the 31st. I want to thank you all, and I want to say that it is for me a great pleasure to be a public servant in Antigua and Barbuda. It's an honor for me to serve, and I continue to serve you to the best of my ability and within the grace of the good Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Joseph. Good night, comrades. Have a safe night home. Have a pleasant rest, and you will be informed as to when and where the next public meeting. Have a safe drive. God bless you all until we come again.
This is